Hey guys, good morning. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. It's a great story. But I don't know how many of you have heard of Mickey's Christmas Carol. So this is Charles Dickens' story with the Mickey Mouse characters in it. So we're going to try that one out today. I haven't read this for a while. There, Mickey is Bob Cratchit. Poor Bob Cratchit. Mr. Scrooge had made him work late again, even though it was Christmas Eve. But now at last he could go home. "Merry Christmas," he called. "Christmas, bah!" shouted Scrooge. Of course you recognize Scrooge. "Don't forget to take my laundry." He's making Bob do his laundry. Bob lugged the heavy laundry, poor guy, through the icy streets. He stopped once to rest, but only for a moment. When he thought of his family waiting for him, he picked up the bundle and trudged on. "It's Papa!" cried Tiny Tim joyfully as Bob struggled through the door. "Dinner will be ready soon, dear," said Mrs. Cratchit as she put some scraps into a pan. "I wish Mr. Scrooge would pay you more. He certainly has enough money." So there's Minnie as Mrs. Cratchit. But Scrooge never thought he had enough money. Look at all that money. Tonight, as always, he had stayed late at the office to count his gold coins. His nephew Fred opened the door. "Here's a holly wreath for you, Uncle," he said. "I've come to invite you to Christmas dinner. We're having roast goose and plum pudding and candied fruits and—" "Out of my way, boy," shouted Scrooge. "You know I can't eat that stuff." "Give a penny for the poor?" asked a man out on the street. "Give that to the poor," cried Scrooge angrily, shoving the wreath over the man's head. "Ooh, he's not very nice." "All this Christmas fuss," muttered Scrooge. "Bah, humbug," he thought of his old dead partner, Jacob Marley. "Marley never gave anything away," he said. "He was my kind of man." Scrooge shivered. He couldn't wait to get inside his warm house. As soon as he was indoors, Scrooge sank into his favorite chair. He was just dozing off when— clink, clink, clink. Scrooge sat up with a start. The ghost of Jacob Marley was coming toward him, slowly dragging long, heavy chains. "I must carry these chains through eternity," moaned Marley, "because I was selfish. Your punishment will be the same, Ebenezer Scrooge." "No," said Scrooge, "it can't be. Help me, Jacob." "Tonight," said Marley, "3 spirits will visit you. Listen to them, or your chains will be heavier than mine." Oh my. The ghost vanished. And look who's there instead. Scrooge blinked and shook his head. "I need rest," he thought. "Imagine thinking I saw old Marley." He climbed into bed. He had barely fallen asleep when the alarm clock jingled. Scrooge opened his eyes and saw a dapper little fellow standing on the night table. "I am the ghost of Christmas past," he said. The ghost held out his hand. "Hold on," he said. "I'll take you to a Christmas of long ago." Scrooge felt himself drift toward the ceiling. "Oh, oh, oh," he shouted as they sailed out the window. Wonder where they're going. They flew across the night sky and landed near a house filled with music and cheerful voices. Scrooge looked in the window. "Why, that's me," he gasped. "When I was young. There's old Fezziwig. He gave me my first job. And there's my lovely Isabel. Do you recognize her? See how happy you were then, Scrooge, said the ghost. You were full of love. But then you grew greedy and lost all your friends, even Isabel. Scrooge turned away. I don't want to see any more. Please, Spirit, take me home. It made him sad to see how much he'd changed for the worse. Ring, ring! It was the alarm clock again. Scrooge opened his eyes. I must have been dreaming, he said. Fee, fi, fo, fum, boomed a voice. Oh! Across the room, a giant was sitting in Scrooge's chair, surrounded by bowls and platters of luscious-looking food. What's all this? Demanded Scrooge. It's the food of generosity, said the giant. Something you know nothing about. I'm the ghost of Christmas present. Come and see what's happening tonight. He picked Scrooge up and dropped him into his deep pocket. So Scrooge is getting a ride in a giant's pocket. Outside, the giant sat Scrooge down in front of a tiny, tumble-down house. Scrooge peered through a cracked window. It's the Cratchits, he said. See him looking in. What a measly dinner they're having. Why aren't they eating the food in the bubbling pot? That's your laundry, said the giant. They're boiling it to make sure it gets extra clean. What's wrong with the lad? Asked Scrooge. Tiny Tim is very ill, said the giant. He needs good food to make him strong and well. Pay his father more so he can buy his family enough to eat. The giant's voice faded, and then he was gone. Scrooge is learning a few things, isn't he? Scrooge tried to call the giant back, but it was too late. Suddenly, he was surrounded by thick clouds of smoke. When the air cleared, he was standing near a broken-down tombstone in a shady, shadowy graveyard. Hello, Scrooge, said a voice behind him. I am the ghost of Christmas future. Scrooge turned to the ghost. Whose lonely grave is this? He asked. See for yourself, said the ghost. It belongs to a man who was very rich, but he was so selfish and unkind that he had no friends. Scrooge bent to read the name on the stone. Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh no, this is my grave. That's right, laughed the ghost. No, please, begged Scrooge. I don't want to die all alone with no friends. I'll change my ways. I promise. Sounds like he might be having a change of heart. I'll change. Scrooge's eyes flew open. He was in his own bed. He was still alive. And there was still time to change, to make a new beginning. It's Christmas morning, he cried. He dressed quickly and rushed outside. Take these, he called, tossing bags of money to the men collecting for the poor. Hello, Fred, he shouted when he saw his nephew. May I still come to dinner? Of course, Uncle, replied Fred. Splendid. I'll see you later. There's something I must do first. A while later, Scrooge knocked at Bob Cratchit's door. Merry Christmas, Scrooge said happily. I have another bundle for you. More laundry, sir? Gulped Bob. Scrooge laughed. Don't be silly, my boy. Look, Papa, cried Tiny Tim, opening the sack. Toys! Oh, he has toys, not more laundry. Friends are worth more than all the gold in the world, said Scrooge. Cratchit, From now on, you and your family will have all the good food and warm clothing you need. Merry Christmas, my friends. He has changed. And God bless us everyone, shouted Tiny Tim. The end. I love that story. You know, all of us can get kind of selfish or grouchy sometimes, thinking only about ourselves. But all of us can change. We can decide to do better, to be kinder, and to be friendly and nice to people around us, and to spread good Christmas cheer. So I hope we can all be like Scrooge and learn a good lesson and be able to make others happy by the way we treat them. I love you all. I hope you have an awesome day. Don't forget to spread cheer wherever you go. Bye for now.